Well, here we are. It's tutorial 5 of spur gears, and in this tutorial we're going to remove some unnecessary material. Unnecessary material in the sense that it's material used that doesn't really contribute to the function or strength needed of the components, so it's a waste. So we're going to get rid of some here, but before we do, I was having a look at my model and I noticed that there's quite a large gap between the retainer on the pin and the gear, and I'm afraid the gears might float up and down a little bit. So I think I'm going to get rid of that gap. So how would I do that is the question. Well, this is how I did it. I'm going to head back and I'm going to click the cylinder. That's the extrusion that I made. And then in the timeline, I can find out through these little hashtags here that this is likely the extrusion and see when I hover over it, it highlights it. So I'll double click that, and currently it's set to 9 millimeters. I found that by reducing it by half a millimeter, making it 8.5, I was happier with the amount of clearance I had in there. Got to have some clearance so it fits together okay, but you don't want too much clearance either. So that's one little move there. Hopefully you've caught that and you've done it on yours. Okay, next one. We are going to make our spur gear look more like this. So how do we do that? That gets rid of a lot of material but maintains the strength we need. So we're going to head back to our spur gear here, and we're going to make sure we're active on the spur gear. And we're going to just shut the other components off here because we don't need them. Alright, so we'll have a look at the top view, and we'll create a sketch on the top of the spur gear, the large spur gear. Now that sketch is going to be 2 circles at first, one in the middle that we'll say is 14, and one on the outside that we'll say is like, I don't know, 52. There we go. And the next thing is we're going to make a line, L on the keyboard for lines, from the center straight down, make sure it's 90 degrees. Okay, click it and push X on your keyboard to make it a construction line. Now we'll make another line, a regular line, somewhere over here approximately, and we'll connect to this line down here at an angle of our choosing. So I don't know, there. That works. And now what we're going to do, hit escape, S on your toolbox, M for mirror, and bring up mirrors. Now you got 2 mirrors here. Pick the one that's completely outlined because that's a 2D mirror. Don't pick the 3D mirror that's closed in. So we'll click that. It says pick your object. That's this line. Pick your mirror line. That's this line. Perfect. Push OK. So I've got that done. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy that around the circle or the center of this gear. So that is create a circular pattern. Now it says pick your objects. Well, that one. Holding shift allows me to pick more objects. That one. Center point is the center of the gear, right there. And then the quantity will be 4. And notice it's full rotation all the way around, and we push OK. Now what we'll do is we'll pick these pie pieces, the bigger ones, holding shift, picking them all. And now we can push E on the keyboard for extrude. We should be able to push this through. Now it's better form if we actually pick to object and pick the other side of the gear and then push OK. And we get this. Now there's one last thing. In engineering, we know that sharp corners are weak corners, much weaker than radiused corners. So we're going to run through and we're going to fillet all of these corners. This could have been done also in the sketch, and they could have come through as filleted extrusions, but I thought I'd leave it till now. Alright, so there's that. I have 7. Ooh. If you accidentally pick something, pick it again and it'll go away. So I picked that now, so I have 8. And now I got to run around the middle. Oh no, they're going to be a different radius, so I'm going to go with those. So just the outside ones, and then we'll just pull, and we decide what works for us. I mean, we haven't done all the calculations on what would be the strongest and all that, but remember, we're trying to use minimal material. So how about something like that? Push we don't have to push OK yet. We're going to add another extrusion. So another extrusion is going to, another fillet is going to be here and here, here, here. That's 6 of them. One more here, one more there. Then we'll look at it pretty much straight on and watch what this does. Yeah, something like that. Maybe I'll go closer. Have a look at it. I don't like that, so I'm going to keep going. There. No, one more. Just trying to get it smooth. Push OK. Alrighty, so we have ourselves a gear. I don't know if it looks exactly like this one. It doesn't matter too much. I mean, these look narrower. This one looks a little fatter. And if I wanted to, if I wanted to, I could go back to this sketch and I could mess with these lines here. And I could move them back around like this and push finish sketch. And now look at that. Magically, they're narrower. Wow, that was easy. Isn't everything easy in Fusion? Yay. All right, so let's turn these other things on. All right, and now we'll go top activate, and you can see them all. And now the last one is this base plate. Looks like it could be under attack a little bit here. So let's go get it. We'll hit activate. We'll create a sketch on the bottom of the base plate, and we'll turn the other gears off, and we're gonna create, oh, we can't do that completely because we need to have some reference as to, well, let's draw on the top of the base plate. So don't finish this sketch, hit Control Z, and we'll get rid of that sketch altogether. So, or I guess we'll finish the sketch, sorry. Now hit Control, see this last sketch, it's empty. Right click, hit delete, bad sketch. Okay, so what we're gonna do is create a sketch on the top. Delete this sketch. I hope that I'm not going to start this video again just for this, so endure, please. So now we're going to create a sketch on the top like that. Turn off these two gears so I don't have to look at them. And we're going to create a circle on the middle. And I think I have something here that I can work from that tells me what I did last time. So 2550 worked. And then the circle on the other side looks to be, oh, I'm looking at it, 26. So we're going to make a circle over here, and this is going to be 26. Okay, so then what I did was I created a line off the center here, outwards just as a reference line. You can make that a construction line if you want. And then we make a line off the center of here. Again, I'm going to make that a construction line. And these are really just construction lines also, so let's make those construction lines. And now I'm going to put some circles out here. And the circle I chose was a diameter of 12. And over here I made a circle using C on my keyboard this time to shortcut it. This one had a diameter of 6. Okay, and then I did the circular pattern. Pick this, rotated it around that, and oh, center point, sorry. Try this again. I'll reselect, pick the circle, select the center point, and now start adding numbers until it makes sense. So on my sketch, I think I added, yeah, let's see if I go one more. That was about it right there. Okay, we'll push OK. And then I'll go over here to circular pattern. So create a circular pattern right there. And select the center of rotation right there and start adding until it looks like it's pretty full without getting too weak. Something like that. Now what you have to do is just run around, push, well, I can do this, I'll push, yeah, I'm going to hold shift, pick all these up, like that. And hit E on the keyboard, and we'll extrude those through, and we'll extrude them to object, which is the other side. Push OK. And there we go. And I'll turn the gears back on. And top level activate so that we actually have rotating gears just like the one I made. The only thing I lastly did, which you know how to do and you can do yourself, is added some colors so that they stand out from each other. So you can go and do that yourself because you guys know how to do that. Okay, so that is the end of the modeling portion. And what's left is you're going to be 3D printing these 3 STL files. Don't forget, all you have to do is head over to the component. You want to do the base, right click, and you go create nest or save as STL. And don't have it send to a utility, just leave that unchecked and push OK. And you'll be saving that STL file to somewhere for your project that you choose. Hopefully it's your documents folder. And then you'll load that STL file into your slicer software, and then after slicing it, send it to the printer, just like the nut and bolt. All right, that's all. The next tutorial will be discussing creating drawings for this, because there are a few details in that. We'll see you there.